case of Beatrice receiving a £18,000 necklace, so about $25,000, from someone she didn't even know. And again, all these people are at, for example, Eugenie's wedding was filled with gangsters and dodgy dictators, as well as film stars she'd never met.
Many people who follow the royal family know Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie as the daughters of Prince Andrew, often seen living quieter lives away from constant royal spotlight. But behind the headlines, reports now suggest that both sisters could be linked to a growing £750,000 scandal, with hidden details slowly starting to come out. So, what is really going on behind the scenes? And why are these surprising claims only coming to light now, after so much time? But what do you think about this latest royal story? Do you believe these reports are true? Or is there really more happening behind closed doors than people realize? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And for more updates on the royal family and other breaking stories, make sure you subscribe. Transfer that sparked a royal financial scandal. It begins with confusion at a bank after a very large amount of money suddenly appeared in a royal account. The sum was close to £750,000, and it was unexpected. A banker, unsure about where the money had come from, reached out for answers. Buckingham Palace responded that the payment was a wedding gift meant for a princess, but this explanation quickly caused more doubt, because the wedding had not even happened yet. The person who was supposed to receive the gift knew nothing about the money, and the sender would later become a key figure in a major fraud case examined by the UK High Court. What looked like a simple payment was actually part of a much larger and more complicated financial story. As investigations continued, the situation appeared to be linked to a wider chain of transactions involving claims about stolen money from a Turkish millionaire. These funds were said to have moved through different accounts and were eventually connected to private banking arrangements involving the family of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. When the full details later emerged, the arrangement looked far more serious and troubling than it first seemed. For many years, Andrew had been at the center of repeated controversies. He was later stripped of his royal titles and, in February 2026, he was arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. His daughters watched these events unfold over time. His daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, have both tried to build lives separate from their father's public problems. Neither of them works as a full-time royal, and neither receives money from the sovereign grant, which is the official public funding for royal duties. Princess Beatrice built a career in the private sector and rose to become Vice President of Partnerships and Strategy at a technology company. Princess Eugenie works as a director at an international art gallery in London. On the surface, both have chosen professional careers instead of royal duties. However, financial issues linked to their father have continued to appear in the background of their lives. The key event in this case was the sudden transfer of £750,000. In November 2019, this money was sent into a personal account linked to Andrew from Selman Turk, a former Goldman Sachs banker who had launched a digital company called Heyman AI. Just weeks earlier, Selman Turk had won the People's Choice Award at an event called Pitch Palace Entrepreneurship Competition connected to Andrew. He reportedly received over 10,000 votes, far more than most other contestants, who often only received a few hundred. This unusual result led some participants to suspect that the voting may have been manipulated, possibly using automated bots. Only 9 days after this competition win, the large transfer of £750,000 took place. Later, when Princess Beatrice's bank asked Buckingham Palace about the payment, a senior royal official reportedly confirmed that the money was a contribution toward Princess Beatrice's upcoming wedding to Edoardo Mapelli-Mozzi. However, this explanation did not match the reality. Princess Beatrice had no idea the money existed, had never heard of Selman Turk, and was described by someone close to her as completely shocked by the situation. But how did the financial scandal reach Beatrice and Eugenie? Have they been involved in such act before? Let's find out. The £750,000 mystery. Nevahat Evlat Baylan, a 77-year-old Turkish millionaire, came to the United Kingdom after her husband was jailed following the failed coup attempt in 2016. She trusted Selman Turk to manage £67 million of her money. Later, Beilin accused Turk of stealing the funds. She claimed that part of her money was used to make the £750,000 payment sent to Prince Andrew. According to her allegations, the payment was connected to help in obtaining a new Turkish passport. Beilin took the matter to the UK High Court, where her lawyers successfully secured a worldwide freezing order against Turk worth £40 million. However, the money trail connected to Andrew's family did not stop there. Another £350,000 linked to Turk was reportedly sent to Andrew through a different account. Sarah Ferguson also received £225,000, which was described as payment for brand ambassador work connected to a United States company. Princess Eugenie, meanwhile, received £25,000 in two separate payments during October 2019. One payment, slightly above £15,000, was specifically described in financial records as a birthday gift. Princess Eugenie later responded publicly to the revelations. She explained that, in October 2019, a family friend contacted her and said they wanted to contribute money toward a surprise 60th birthday celebration for her mother, mainly to help cover catering expenses. Eugenie said she suggested that the money should be paid directly to the catering company and later provided her bank details when asked. She strongly stated that she had never met Beilin, had never dealt with Turk, and was genuinely shocked when she received a lawyer's letter explaining the transactions. It is important to note that no court has found either princess guilty of wrongdoing. Court documents also clearly stated that Beatrice and Eugenie were not believed to have known anything about their parents' financial dealings with Turk. Even so, the damage to their public image has been serious, as often happens in high-profile scandals. A second and unexpected chapter in this complicated story appeared in March 2026. This new development reached much further into the past and raised even more unanswered questions. The Mail on Sunday published leaked emails from June 2011. At that time, Prince Andrew was serving as Britain's special representative for international trade, a powerful position that gave him access to world leaders, finance ministers, and billionaires around the world. The leaked emails were exchanged between Andrew and Jonathan Rowland, the son of financier David Rowland. David Rowland's fortune was estimated at £730 million, and he later sat prominently in the front row at Princess Eugenie's wedding in 2018. The emails appeared to describe a financial arrangement in very direct language. According to Andrew's messages, there was a plan for £50,000 to be sent to each of his daughters. Half of each payment was supposedly intended for Jellybook, an investment company focused on social media businesses that Jonathan Rowland managed. Andrew himself was expected to receive £300,000 as part of the wider arrangement. Jonathan Rowland replied that he understood the agreement and confirmed that £50,000 would be transferred to each daughter once their accounts had been created. However, it remains unclear whether those payments were ever actually made. Neither Andrew nor his daughters publicly responded to the leaked emails. Still, the political reaction was immediate. Labour MPs quickly demanded an official investigation, while royal biographer Andrew Loney openly stated that the princesses and their father needed to provide complete transparency. Loney has repeatedly argued that the image of Beatrice and Eugenie as innocent daughters trapped in their father's financial problems is difficult to believe completely. He noted that when Princess Beatrice attends international events such as the World Economic Forum in Davos or meetings in Abu Dhabi, she often appears as H.R.H. Princess Beatrice, rather than simply as a private citizen. According to Lowney, that royal title gives her access and opportunities that ordinary people could never easily obtain. Lowney also claimed that Prince William had once asked Beatrice and Eugenie to carry out a formal review of their business activities to make sure there were no embarrassing or questionable connections. According to him, that review never happened, something he said does not look good. Kensington Palace has not confirmed his claims. However, the effects of these revelations have already started to appear. So, why did Eugenie leave the charity? Could it be as a result of the scandal? Let's take a closer look. Princess Eugenie's charity exit. On March 7, 2026, Princess Eugenie officially ended her role as patron of Anti-Slavery International after being linked to the organization for 7 years. The charity released a carefully worded statement thanking her for the support she had provided during her time with the group, while also confirming that the relationship had now come to an end. Eugenie had first accepted the position in October 2019, only 2 years after helping to create her own anti-slavery initiative. Shortly after the announcement became public, her profile quietly disappeared from the organization's website, signaling a clear and final separation. The timing of the decision immediately sparked intense discussion around the York family and the growing controversy surrounding certain financial questions that continue to follow them. According to a source who spoke to The Telegraph, both Eugenie and Princess Beatrice are still deeply affected by the fallout. The source claimed that the situation has become so serious that some people within the wider royal circle now believe it may be impossible for the monarchy to fully move forward while members of the York family remain tied to ongoing controversy. For years, Beatrice and Eugenie tried to create lives away from the constant pressure of palace duties. Unlike senior working royals, the sisters focused on private careers and attempted to build professional identities separate from the institution they were born into. They carefully balanced royal connections with modern careers, presenting themselves as independent women who wanted a more private and normal future. But recent revelations have placed both sisters under an uncomfortable spotlight they can no longer avoid. At the center of the controversy are several financial transactions that continue to raise difficult questions. One of the most shocking claims involves a £750,000 transfer reportedly described as a wedding gift for a royal bride. The problem, however, is that the bride herself allegedly knew nothing about the payment at the time. That detail alone created immediate suspicion and confusion, leading many observers to question why such a large amount of money would move through royal-linked accounts without clear explanation or awareness from the person supposedly receiving the gift. Another payment, this time for £25,000, was reportedly labeled as a birthday present connected to an event that the princess later insisted she had personally arranged and funded herself. Critics argue that the explanation surrounding the payment only deepened public uncertainty rather than removing it. Each new detail added another layer to an already troubling picture of unclear financial arrangements connected to people operating close to royal influence. Further concern came from emails dating back to 2011. The messages allegedly discussed plans for £50,000 payments to reach the accounts of the sisters during a period when their father, Prince Andrew, was heavily involved in elite international business and financial networks. During those years, Andrew's royal title reportedly opened doors to wealthy investors, influential figures, and powerful financial circles around the world. Critics now question whether that access created situations where royal connections and private money became dangerously intertwined. Despite the growing public attention, it is important to note that no court has found either Beatrice or Eugenie guilty of wrongdoing. No criminal judgment has been made against them, and both women continue to avoid directly commenting on many of the allegations. Still, the repeated appearance of unexplained payments, unclear arrangements, and secretive financial discussions has kept public suspicion alive. What was once discussed quietly behind palace walls is now becoming a much louder conversation. Calls for transparency are growing stronger not only from critics outside the monarchy, but also from figures connected to the wider royal orbit. Many now believe that silence is no longer enough to calm public concern. How many financial dealings connected to royal influence still remain hidden from public view? Could it be the reason why both princesses haven't been seen most often in public, or are they planning a shocking comeback? Let's find out. Beatrice and Eugenie first appearance since Epstein revelations. Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, who are cousins of Peter Phillips, have been invited to attend his royal wedding next month. The wedding is expected to be a major family event, bringing together several members of the extended royal family after a period of time when some of them have not been seen together in public. In recent months, the York sisters have stayed mostly out of the public eye. This quiet period followed reports connected to the so-called Epstein files earlier this year. Their names were mentioned a number of times in relation to their parents, Sarah Ferguson and Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. However, it is important to note that there was no suggestion or proof that the sisters themselves did anything wrong. Despite this, the situation brought a lot of public attention, and since then, both Beatrice and Eugenie have chosen to keep a lower profile and avoid media focus. According to a report from The Sun, both sisters are expected to attend Peter Phillips's wedding. The ceremony will take place on June 6th at All Saints Church in Kemble. Peter Phillips is set to marry Harriet Sperling, and the event is expected to be a happy occasion for the family, bringing relatives together for a celebration after a quieter period. A source quoted by the newspaper said that Princess Beatrice will definitely be attending the wedding. At the same time, Princess Eugenie is also hoping to be there, although her situation is slightly different at the moment. Eugenie is currently in the second trimester of her pregnancy, which may affect her ability to travel or attend large public events comfortably. Because of this, her attendance is not completely confirmed, but she is said to be making plans with the hope of being present on the day. The same source also mentioned that the family is looking forward to some positive and happy news. After a period where there has been a lot of media attention and serious headlines involving members of the wider family, this wedding is seen as a chance to bring everyone together in a more joyful and relaxed setting. If both sisters attend, it would be the first time they have been seen publicly with other members of the royal family for several months. The last time they appeared together in a public royal event was during the Christmas Day church service at Sandringham. Since then, they have not taken part in other major royal gatherings, including the Easter celebrations and events marking the centenary of the late Queen Elizabeth. However, Princess Eugenie recently shared news that she is expecting her third child. She made this pregnancy announcement earlier in the month, adding to the family's recent personal developments. What's the connection between Beatrice and Eugenie? Are they as close as they appear to be? Let's find out. Relationship between princesses, Beatrice and Eugenie. Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie are the daughters of Prince Andrew, Duke of York, and Sarah Ferguson, Duchess of York. Beatrice was born on August 8, 1988, while Eugenie was born on March 23, 1990. Unlike Catherine, Princess of Wales, Kate Middleton, and Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, who became princesses through marriage, Beatrice and Eugenie are princesses from birth. A working royal is a member of the royal family who carries out official duties on behalf of the monarch. Even though Beatrice and Eugenie sometimes attend royal events, they are not full-time working royals. This means they do not receive public funding or official police protection through the royal household. Instead, both sisters have their own careers. Beatrice works in the business world, while Eugenie is involved in the art industry. They also receive some financial support from their father, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. Because they are not working royals, Eugenie is also allowed to have her own personal Instagram account. Before Princess Eugenie married Jack Brooksbank and moved to Ivy Cottage inside the Kensington Palace grounds, the two sisters lived together in a 4-bedroom apartment at St. James's Palace. In 2008, Eugenie gave her first interview to The Telegraph, where she talked about how different she is from her older sister and how that helps their relationship. She explained that they get along very well because they think and act in different ways. She described Beatrice as more polite, while she said she herself is more direct and honest. Eugenie also said she can be shy at first in social situations, often letting Beatrice go ahead when entering a party, but once she becomes comfortable, she becomes more outgoing, while Beatrice stays more formal and polite. Eugenie also spoke about their different fashion styles. She said Beatrice enjoys elegant, glamorous dresses and often prefers big, curly hairstyles, similar to their mother, Sarah Ferguson. In contrast, Eugenie prefers simpler styles, likes her hair flat, and usually chooses jeans and understated outfits. She described Beatrice as someone who enjoys glamour, while she prefers a more relaxed and casual look. She also shared that, like many sisters, they sometimes argue over small things, especially clothes. Eugenie joked that she often borrows Beatrice's clothes and once even caused a serious argument over a pair of Converse trainers. Later, she realized the shoes actually belonged to Beatrice after finding her own pair elsewhere. Despite these small disagreements, Eugenie made it clear that they love each other deeply. Even though their parents divorced in 1996, Sarah Ferguson and Andrew Mountbatten Windsor have remained close and have continued to co-parent their daughters. Beatrice has spoken warmly about her mother, saying that even during very stressful times, her mother always tries to bring joy to the family. She also said she admires her mother's strength and generosity, even when life is difficult. Eugenie has also described her close bond with her family. She once said that she, her sister, and their mother call themselves the tripod, meaning they are inseparable and best friends. In a later interview in 2016, Eugenie said her family is the most important part of her life. She especially relies on her mother for advice when making difficult decisions and feels very close to her sister as well. She also said that her mother often reminds them that they understand each other's lives better than anyone else. While details about Beatrice's own wedding in 2020 remain limited, it is known that both sisters have always supported each other during important family moments. How is Beatrice's private life? Is she raising a family? Let's take a closer look. Princess Beatrice's personal life. Princess Beatrice briefly dated Paolo Liuzzo in 2006. He was an Italo-American man who had previously been charged with assault and battery, which caused public controversy at the time. From around 2006 until July 2016, she was in a long-term relationship with Dave Clark, a businessman linked to Virgin Galactic. In March 2019, Beatrice attended a fundraising event at the National Portrait Gallery in London with Edoardo Mapelli Mozzi, a property developer of Anglo-Italian background. He is the only son of Alex Mapelli Mozzi, a former Olympic alpine skier who represented Great Britain. Edoardo comes from an Italian noble family that was given the title of Count in 1913 by King Victor Emmanuel III. Although this title is still sometimes used socially out of tradition, it has no legal recognition today in either Italy or the United Kingdom. Beatrice and Edoardo are believed to have started dating in September 2018. In May 2019, they attended the wedding of Lady Gabriella Windsor, a relative of Beatrice. Later that year, in September 2019, the couple became engaged while in Italy, and the engagement was officially announced shortly after. Their wedding was first planned for 29 May 2020 at the Chapel Royal in St. James's Palace, with a reception planned in the Buckingham Palace Gardens. However, both the reception and the wedding were delayed because of the COVID-19 pandemic. They eventually held a much more private wedding on July 17, 2020, at the Royal Chapel of All Saints at Royal Lodge in Windsor. The wedding was kept small, partly due to the public controversies surrounding Beatrice's father, Prince Andrew, and his association with Jeffrey Epstein. After criticism and his stepping back from royal duties, the event was scaled down significantly. Prince Andrew did walk Beatrice down the aisle, but he was not included in the official wedding photographs released to the public. Beatrice wore a redesigned gown, originally made by Sir Norman Hartnell and lent to her by Queen Elizabeth, along with the Queen Mary fringe tiara, which had also been worn by the Queen on her own wedding day. Beatrice became a stepmother to Christopher Wolfe, often called Wolfie, who is the son of Edoardo Mapelli Mozzi and his former partner, architect Dara Huang. On the 18th of September 2021, Beatrice gave birth to a daughter named Sienna Elizabeth Mapelli Mozzi at the Chelsea and Westminster Hospital in London. At the time of her birth, Sienna was 11th in line to the British throne. After the death of Queen Elizabeth II on the 8th of September 2022, she moved up to 10th in line. Sienna was later christened at the Chapel Royal in St. James's Palace on the 29th of April 2022. At first, Beatrice and her husband lived in a 4-bedroom apartment inside St. James's Palace. Later, in late 2022, they reportedly moved to a manor house in the Cotswolds. On the 22nd of January 2025, Beatrice gave birth to their second daughter, Athena Elizabeth Rose, at the Chelsea and Westminster Hospital in London. She arrived a few weeks earlier than expected. Athena was later christened at the Chapel Royal in St. James's Palace on December 12th. So how about Eugenie's personal life? Is she also like her sister, Beatrice? Let's take a closer look. Princess Eugenie personal life. Buckingham Palace officially announced that Princess Eugenie and Jack Brooksbank were engaged on January 22, 2018. The two had already been in a relationship for about 7 years. They first met through mutual friends during a ski trip in Verbier, Switzerland, where Jack Brooksbank was working at the time. Their engagement actually happened while they were on holiday in Nicaragua, a moment that marked the start of their next chapter together. A few months later, in April 2018, the couple moved from St. James's Palace and settled into Ivy Cottage at Kensington Palace. The wedding took place on the 12th of October 2018 at the beautiful St. George's Chapel, Windsor Castle, a historic royal church often used for important family ceremonies. Princess Eugenie wore a specially designed wedding dress created by British designers Peter Pilato and Christopher DeVos. The dress was made in a way that proudly showed the surgical scar on her back. She chose to do this to raise awareness about scoliosis, a condition she had lived with since childhood, and to honor the support she received during her treatment, while also encouraging others facing the same condition. After their wedding, the couple started building their family. Their first son, August Philip Hawke Brooksbank, was born on February 9, 2021, at the Portland Hospital in London. Because of Eugenie's past scoliosis surgery, he was delivered by cesarean section. At the time of his birth, he was 11th in line to the British throne, and later moved to 13th place. His name includes a tribute to his great-grandfather, Prince Philip. August was later christened on November 21, 2021, at the Royal Chapel of All Saints in Windsor Great Park, during a joint ceremony with his second cousin, Lucas Tyndall. Their second son, Ernest George Ronnie Brooksbank, was born on 30 May 2023. His name honors his distant ancestor George V. At birth, Ernest was 13th in line to the throne and later moved to 14th place. In May 2026, it was announced that Princess Eugenie and Jack Brooksbank are expecting their third child, adding another chapter to their growing family. Between November 2020 and May 2022, the couple lived mainly at Frogmore Cottage, a royal residence that had previously been leased to Prince Harry. Later, in May 2022, reports stated that they had moved to Portugal because Jack Brooksbank was working with businessman Michael Meldman. However, they continue to use Ivy Cottage at Kensington Palace as their home base when they are in the United Kingdom. What do you think about Beatrice and Eugenie financial scandal? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe.